seemed to take issue with the fact that he may have had special treatment. She asked the state's attorney, why didn't you mention he's never had a valid license? She asked the defendant and the defense attorney, why was he allowed to attend his pre-sentencing investigation within...
Tank, what happened? Why you in the wheelchair?
Shit happen all the time. Shit be happening.
Hey, Mark,
I'm all right.
Wait, no. We got that fight coming up.
You gotta beat it, bro.
We got that fight coming up.
He's talking to me, dog.
You gotta beat it, bro.
Bro, Tank's talking to me.
He ain't talking to you.
He's talking to me right now, dog.
It all erupted at the Miami airport when Gervonta "Tank" Davis sucker punched Jake Paul, sparking a full-blown brawl that no one saw coming. But the drama didn't stop there. Outside the courthouse, Jake Paul fired back with a shocking open-hand slap that landed squarely across Gervonta Davis's face. That slap wasn't just retaliation. It was symbolic, fueling what's quickly become the biggest crossover feud in boxing in years. Now, all eyes are on the explosive build-up to Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul in November.
Here's the beef between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is an amazing boxer who is trained by Floyd Mayweather and has a great record. Jake Paul recently put Gervonta Davis on his hit list and saying he wants to box him soon. Gervonta Davis responded saying, "Jake Paul better leave me alone." Jake Paul responded trolling him and posting this picture calling Gervonta short. He then followed that up by this tweet saying Gervonta is not tall enough to ride the amusement park rides. And lastly, Jake uploaded this tweet of Gervonta jumping into a kiddie pool. It doesn't seem like Gervonta responded to Jake after all this trolling, but the beef is there and I wonder if they will ever fight. Y'all let me know in the comments who you think would win, Gervonta or Jake.
Just days ago at Miami International Airport, tensions were already high as Gervonta "Tank" Davis, fresh out of customs, was meeting with his legal team regarding a pending federal investigation linked to a recent raid on his Dubai mansion. Then suddenly, Jake Paul appeared.
Actually, nice to get that girl.
What's going on?
What's up, Floyd?
I can have what I want.
What you mean with the camera?
Oh, you got camera too.
So what you supposed to be?
I'm just working, man.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that.
Yo, let's bust him up. Where you running?
Tensions exploded when a security lapse turned a verbal clash into a physical confrontation at Miami International Airport. Gervonta "Tank" Davis lunged at Jake Paul, and although security intervened, the chaos tore through the terminal and went viral within minutes. Fast forward to the courthouse days later, both men stood in full public view. As Gervonta Davis exited his vehicle, Jake Paul approached the barricade where fans and cameras swarmed. The atmosphere was electric, and then it happened. Jake Paul delivered a loud, open-handed slap that echoed louder than words, causing Gervonta Davis to stumble. Emotions surged as security rushed in, pulling them apart before another brawl could erupt. Tank was quickly ushered inside by his team, while Jake was escorted back to his vehicle. Although things calmed on the surface, behind the scenes, Gervonta Davis's camp kept it tight, with his legal team issuing no public statements, yet leaving the door open for what may come next.
To the sentence the judge just handed down.
Well, we're not exactly satisfied with a sentence of 90 days home detention. We believe that based on the severity of this incident, it doesn't seem to be much of a penalty to me.
The judge seemed to take issue with the fact that he may have had special...
Rumors are already swirling that Gervonta "Tank" Davis is weighing legal action, or possibly fast-tracking the fight with Jake Paul sooner than expected, because this was never just about boxing. It's about pride, It's about dominance. And while Jake Paul may not be the most technically skilled boxer in the world, he's unmatched when it comes to psychological warfare and getting inside his opponent's head.
We're in discussions with a lot of names: Gervonta Davis, Anthony Joshua, Badu Jack, Ryan Garcia, KSI, Tommy Fury. So there's a lot of people on the hit list, but Badu Jack excites me a lot, and I definitely want to become world champion. So going after Zerto or Badu sounds like a good game plan to me.
If you had your pick of the litter, in scale of 1, 2, and 3.
First is Gervonta. Second is Anthony Joshua.
Today, Jake Paul may have landed his most brutal mental shot yet. But don't get it twisted, Gervonta "Tank" Davis isn't backing down. If anything, the incident has ignited a fire no one can extinguish. Inside his camp, sources say Tank was furious, humiliated, and more focused than ever, and he's already pushing to lock in a fight date for November.
What about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough?
Yeah, would you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career, I can't do that right now.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis wants Jake Paul in the ring, and he wants revenge. No more Twitter jabs, no more media back and forth, just gloves, fists, and whatever unfolds between the ropes.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
And here's where it all takes a wild turn. The fight is real. It's confirmed. Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis is officially set for November. And after today's explosive confrontation, the stakes have never been higher.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's a smart bit of
This was shaping up to be just another crossover spectacle. Jake Paul taking on a smaller, quicker, elite boxer like Gervonta "Tank" Davis. A clear size mismatch on paper, but now it's personal. That slap transformed a money-driven matchup into an all-out grudge match. And both fighters know exactly what's at stake.
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are gonna win, and it's gonna be the biggest event of the year.
What weight is in that?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
Let's break it down. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is the reigning knockout king of the lightweight division, ruling at 135 pounds while dismantling top-tier opponents like Leo Santa Cruz, Ryan Garcia, and Rolando Romero with his explosive power and precision.
Tank knows better than anyone how suddenly and violently a fight can end. His knockout of Leo Santa Cruz offers a lesson of what not to do against a power puncher.
That definitely was the best knockout. Cause he didn't wake up.
Yeah, he was the only person that didn't know how that fight ended.
Yeah. He felt right there. Like damn that out the ring. He just threw the shot 3 times in a row. But it wasn't like on no it wasn't like faint or nothing. He just kept on it like.
Why would you throw it 3 times?
Yeah. 1, 2.
The man is an absolute monster when it comes to power punches and ring IQ, combining raw knockout force with sharp, calculated strategy inside the ropes.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Man, god damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
But stepping into the ring with Jake Paul is uncharted territory. Jake walks around at 200 pounds, has faced off against heavyweights like Tommy Fury and legends like Mike Tyson, and brings a size, reach, and power advantage capable of dropping much bigger men.
After Canelo, obviously, didn't materialize, was the next one Tank?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But Man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching it, like he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. But, and so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, like, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that like we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? Like if he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure.
But Jake Paul isn't nearly as technically gifted, and Gervonta Tank Davis is betting everything on that, aiming to prove once and for all that size can't overcome skill, precision, and elite experience in the ring.
These guys can mess with me like nobody. Like I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. You feel, well, yeah, I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
Speed, timing, and precision. Those are the real weapons Gervonta Tank Davis is counting on. But let's not forget, Jake Paul isn't a rookie anymore. He's been training for years, and after his victory over Mike Tyson in July, his confidence is sky high.
I am looked at by these younger kids as this is all we know.
Done.
As a boxer, he's the best.
That victory, whether you loved it or hated it, proved one undeniable fact. Jake Paul can take a punch, and he can deliver one right back. Now he's setting his sights on the most dangerous name in boxing under 140 pounds, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank was looking past Roach, and he wanted that Jake Paul fight, which I think Jake Paul would have beaten. Jake is way too big. Tank is 5'5", 135, soaking wet. Y'all think Tank is too small for 140. He ain't beating no heavyweight. I'm not joking. I don't think he would have hurt Jake. He would have to jump up to reach him. I don't think he would have hurt him. I tell you this, it would have gone the distance, and people would have been laughing their asses off, and it wouldn't have been good for Tank's brand. I tell you that. That fight would have went the distance. Soon as 5'5" Tank is looking at a 6'2", 6'3" Jake Paul, y'all would have been like, hold, wait a second. And Jake Paul be on spread out paws with that arm out and stepping back. And bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. But that's a cap. Fine. We'll never get to fight anyway. So we'll never.
There's already buzz that this showdown could happen in Las Vegas or possibly even Saudi Arabia, two venues with the money and prestige to match the hype. Major streaming platforms like Netflix, DAZN, and ESPN Plus are circling the event, all wanting a piece of the action. This isn't just a fight anymore. It's a global spectacle.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You could knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
No titles on the line, no rankings at stake. Just two men with something to prove and one viral slap that sent the entire rivalry into overdrive.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down.
I don't know if Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
And for Gervonta Tank Davis, this isn't just about Jake Paul anymore. It's about shutting down the circus and restoring respect to boxing. After weeks of media chaos, the raid on his Dubai mansion, swirling deportation rumors, the Calvin Ford controversy, and now this explosive clash, he knows the spotlight is fully on him.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
A win over Jake Paul wouldn't just restore Gervonta Tank Davis's image. It would silence the doubters, shut down the critics, the trolls, and even the boxing purists who claim he's lost focus. But before Jake Paul gets his shot, Tank has one more storm to weather, the rematch with Lamont Roach, and that fight is deeply personal.
Zero. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? Whew, it's a good question. It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't give me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room. You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears? 100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. Just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
The first bout left fans divided. Some viewed it as a narrow but fair win for Gervonta Tank Davis, while others took it as a warning sign that he might be starting to slip.
It was like he was there, but he wasn't like there for real. Like when you watch all the other fights, you can see like his eyes just look different. When he walked into the ring with Lamont, it was just like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because you heard in the press conferences, he was just saying, he was just real irritated. He didn't really seem like
he just felt like, I think he just trained just to get by. I think he trained to just do 12 rounds. You know what I mean? The Tink that I know, the kid that you punch him in the face, he go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if I'm down on the scorecards, I'm gonna go out and go get it. I didn't see it that fight, and I understand it too. When us as fighters, when you get to a certain point in life, sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
With the rematch quietly scheduled just weeks before the Jake Paul mega event, the pressure on Gervonta Tank Davis is overwhelming. 2 fights, 2 drastically different styles, and one misstep could derail everything. If Lamont Roach comes in sharper, smarter, and more aggressive, and Tank underestimates him even for a moment, the momentum for November could come crashing down.
We was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, there it go. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's okay. We gonna run it.
But if Gervonta Tank Davis dominates, if he steamrolls through Lamont Roach like a freight train, then the Jake Paul fight becomes the grand finale of a fierce and frightening comeback run, cementing his statement to the world.
Didn't get what the decision I want, but we didn't get a loss here, so I felt like I won it the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I could get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight.
Amid all the chaos, from courtroom clashes to viral slaps, one surprising figure has re-entered the picture: Floyd Mayweather. Despite years of tension, betrayal, and public shots exchanged between them, Floyd Mayweather is now officially siding with Gervonta Tank Davis.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, he deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
In a recent interview, Floyd Mayweather didn't mince words, stating, "If Jake steps in the ring with a guy like Tank, it's going to be bad. Real bad." That wasn't just support, it was a clear warning. Coming from the man who built Gervonta Tank Davis from the ground up and once marketed him as boxing's next king, those words carry serious weight. Despite all the past drama, Floyd still knows exactly what Tank is capable of.
He was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
Jake Paul might be fearless, but Gervonta Tank Davis is a fighter forged through pain, pressure, and punishment. A product of struggle who turns adversity into power every time he steps into the ring.
Davis, bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer, George was a puncher, Ernest Shaver was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of competition.
Yes,
He was doing that a lot.
And he gotta be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you gotta be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you gotta be careful of. Other than that.
So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming content. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.